Welcome to Mock the Mock, where I take a look at someone else's mock draft and I mock it, give you my views, thoughts, and opinions. Got a great one for you today. First, special thanks to our friends over at Esker. Thank you for sponsoring today's video. More on them a little bit later, but let's head over to Yahoo Sports. Take a look at Charles McDonald and Nate Tice's mock draft. Charles will be making the odd number picks while Nate will be making the even. So with the first overall pick, I imagine we all know, say it with me, Cam Ward, quarterback out of Miami. Yes, he at this juncture is the unanimous first overall pick. Tight ends, they're going to swing on the most valuable position on an NFL roster. They're going to take a shot at quarterback. Now the question is, when does the next quarterback come off the board? Do you think maybe the Saints? Maybe a trade up? Ooh, I don't know. We'll see. At pick 2, the Cleveland Browns go with Travis Hunter, wide receiver / corner out of Colorado. And it does seem like the Browns are pretty darn, at least intrigued with Travis Hunter, whether he be corner or wide receiver. Kind of sounds like more specifically for them, wide receiver. But they also have Greg Newsome, MJ Emerson coming up on contracts after this season, so corner would intrigue me as well. To me, the Browns, they could go Travis. They could go with Abdul Carter, and I'd be like, that's a good pick. Maybe they could trade up it back into the first round and try to reunite Shador and Hunter. We'll see. Again, don't know if there's going to be trades in this mock draft, but it does make pick 3 very interesting for the New York Giants. Oh my gosh, really interested. They go with Armand Membu. I figure, hey, just take the next best prospect on the board. I mean, there's no sense in hiding it. We know the Patriots, this is like an ideal spot. I mean, if Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter makes it to you at pick 4, you run the card in, you jump for joy. But Armand Membu, they currently have Jermaine Illuminor. They're a right tackle. Membu, technically, if you still want to keep Illuminor at right tackle, you could kick Membu into guard, or you could kick Illuminor into guard. Call it a day. Feel like you're in the process of completing that offensive line, or at least you're hoping so. I still think you probably have to go with Abdul Carter, because he could also give you a means to get off of, not have to pay Kayvon Thibodeau. I mean, you could literally still shoot the 5th-year option out there with Thibodeau and be like, oh, he's going to be someone we trade in the future. But until then, our pass rush is going to be, mamma mia, terrifying. You also got Brian Burns there, Sexy Dexy. Armand Membu is certainly a interesting pick, I would say. But yeah, Patriots, they jump for joy. Abdul Carter, that's awesome. You get a really good pass rusher there to pair up with Harold Landry. They also have Anthony Jennings, Keon White, but he's a very flexible body type. But being able to land one of the top 2 prospects in this class at 4, it's just a good feeling. Before we get back to the video, I want to talk to y'all about Esker. With the NFL draft, we talk about generational prospects. Well, I bring to you a generational wallet. It's a slim, retractable, and traceable wallet. Just with the click of a button, you get access to your cards just like that. Gift card, baby. I'm going to put that sucker back in. But they also provide RFID protection from skimming and data theft. Whether it's the Parliament wallet or the Cardholder Pro, Esker wallets are slim and they provide room for scanner cards. Bam, tap and you go. And they come in him and her colors, so it makes a fantastic gift. Matter of fact, worried about misplacing or losing your wallet? Fret not, because in the back, it has a thin tracer card that you just slide into there. Don't even know that it's there. And using the Chipolo app, you could have your phone ring, cry out for help. No need to look through cushions, because it's like, hey, I'm here, I got you. And it's also got a navigation app. I can't show you too much because I don't want y'all to know what street I live on, but you can know exactly what house, what street, what city, what state, and what country that your wallet is currently in. So yeah, it's pretty darn cool. So go ahead, use the link in the description and or the pinned comment to get your wallet today. Don't forget to use promo code BROSHMO when you check out to get an additional 10%. Esker, it is the blue chip prospect of wallets you've been looking for. At pick 5, the Jacksonville Jaguars go with Mason Graham, defensive line, defensive tackle out of Michigan. Kind of a no-brainer pick. This is the chalk pick. You get to the Jags and you're like, what other things can they do? Could they go Tyler Warren, Tetairoa McMillan, maybe a Will Johnson, Jahdae Barron, Jalen Walker? But it always comes back to Mason Graham for a lot of people. Maybe I'm just speaking for a lot of people out there. At least for me, Mason Graham, he's my third best prospect on the board. It'd be somebody I'd want to go with here. And yeah, it's the chalk pick. Talking about chalk picks, we got Ashton Jeanty going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Hey, look at that. Nate Tyson, Trevor Sikkema, chilling and kicking it. We will have a couple of special guests this week for mock drafts. We'll have a collab out on Thursday and another one on Easter Sunday. It's going to be our last collabs before the actual NFL draft. So hopefully y'all enjoy that. Look at me. I'm plugging myself. It is what it is, but there's not much to say here with Ashton Jeanty to the Raiders. Outside of Cam Ward to the Titans, I sense that Ashton Jeanty to the Raiders is probably the most chalk and popular pick. And there's good reason for that. He's going to add a mainstream back to an ascendant offensive line. It's going to take some pressure off of Geno there. Let's move on to the Jets at pick 7. They go with Tetairoa McMillan. Oh, let's go. I like this. I think the Jets really can't go wrong with this pick. You could go with someone to play right tackle. You could go with a pass catcher. Doesn't have to be Tet. It could obviously be a Tyler Warren. Or Aaron Glenn be like, hey, I'm a defensive guy. My first pick's going to be a defensive player. Tetairoa McMillan. I mean, you get a big-bodied wide receiver out there to pair up with Garrett Wilson. I don't mind that. And I mean, with Justin Fields, you just got to throw it up. With McMillan's crazy catch radius, he can make a play. Carolina Panthers are going to go with Mikael Williams, edge out of Georgia. Almost choked there. I don't know if y'all heard that. Almost lost, took my breath away, some would say. I like them going edge. I look at their edge room, I'm like, okay, cool. You got Clowney. You got some rotation options in Wonum and Jones, but I want to find the guy. And I think you take a shot at one of these edge rushers, whether it be a lot of people love Jalen Walker. I love Mike Green. You can make cases for more toolsy guys like Mikael Williams or maybe even a Shamar Stewart. But I think Mikael Williams has the higher floor right now compared to him and Stewart. Just as a run defender, and you kind of hoping things click as a pass rusher with him. So yeah, Panthers going edge. It, to me, makes all the sense in the world. You like the NFL draft. Matter of fact, you love the NFL draft, which means you're going to love my draft guide. If you want to know every player your team drafts or even signs as an undrafted free agent, then this is for you. My draft guide updates every day, and you'll be able to see those updates in real time as I add new evals and player backgrounds. It'll have analytics from this year and last year. It'll have the pro day and combine numbers. It'll even have my notes from the senior and Shrine Bowl. It's a one-time purchase of $30 via PayPal, Venmo, or the Cash App. You can check out the pinned comment or the description if you want to follow those links. And when you do purchase it, please be sure to include your email because it is a Google spreadsheet. So I'm going to require your email. Don't make me hunt it down because I will hunt you down. I will find you and I'll make sure you get your money's worth. Anywho, thanks for supporting the channel. At pick 9, the New Orleans Saints go with Shamar Stewart, edge out of Texas A&M. And kind of not necessarily out of left field. I think edge is certainly on the table. They did bring back Chase Young on a 2-year deal. They have Carl Granderson, which you would argue is their best player at edge. But if you're not confident in Young, or maybe there is some concern because he's had a bit of an injury history, getting someone in the rotation there that you can develop isn't a bad option. You are swinging on tools at this juncture. So it's definitely fascinating. It's certainly fascinating. I'll say that. Chicago Bears go with, oh, wow, Colston Loveland going ahead of Tyler Warren. Tight end out of Michigan. You're going to pair him up with Cole Kmet, which, I mean, I don't mind. For many people, Warren and Loveland are fairly close to one another. Some people have Loveland ahead of Warren. I'm not going to say don't be surprised if you see a flip-flop on draft day. I mean, I don't think it would take me by surprise, but the Bears are kind of an interesting spot. You would love Genty to fall here. But if he doesn't, then do you go with defensive line, offensive line? Because they did a lot of work on the defensive line during free agency. They did a lot of work on the offensive line during free agency, either signing or trading. But Braxton Jones, is that someone they might move off from because, well, they don't want to pay him? I think that could be a question mark. But you got Ben Johnson getting another weapon, run a lot of 12 personnel, get the run game going, run game started, choo-choo. I think it's fascinating. I would say corner could be in discussion here with Will Johnson, who's currently going to have his pro day today. Or not his pro day, but a private workout. Did not do any of the workouts or drills at his pro day. But, man, Bears are going to be fascinated. Pick 11. We got Will Campbell going to the San Francisco 49ers. Look at Trev talking so fast. I'm going to pause you, Trev. There we go. This team needs trenches. I don't care if it's defensive line or offensive line. Just kind of take the best player available at pick 11 that plays in the trenches. To me, that makes all the sense of the world. Will Campbell, oh, is he going to be our left guard? Cool, you need a left guard. Oh, can he be an heir apparent for Trent Williams? Mentor him then. Will Campbell is a good offensive lineman. Where does that fit in the NFL? Like, I prefer him working out at tackle than guard. I think he plays really tall. And I got to represent my short, keen quarterbacks out there. That's all I'm saying. Dallas Cowboys, they go with, oh, Matthew Golden, wide receiver out of Texas. Oh, I love that the first line in the blurb here, maybe a tad rich. I do like Golden, though, to the Cowboys. You get to pair him up with CeeDee Lamb. You get another pass catcher threat outside of CeeDee Lamb that's not Jake Ferguson. They've been looking for another wide receiver there for feels like quite a few years now at this juncture. I love Golden's skill set. I know he's got the 4.29, 2.8 speed, whatever it was. I didn't necessarily feel that on tape. I knew he was fast, but that was like, oh, okay. I didn't know he had that type of take the top off the defense type of speed. But he's a very nuanced route runner. Plays with that my ball mentality. I like the fit. Miami Dolphins, fins up, baby, fins up. They go with Josh Connerly Jr., tackle out of Oregon. I'm going to read this one if you don't mind. It says, Terran Armstead called it a career, ended a stellar run as a blindside offensive tackle, simultaneously saying words I can't pronounce here, creating a huge need on the Dolphins' offensive line. I feel like I look at left guard and I'm like, that's kind of our biggest hole. I want to at least run the gambit with Patrick Paul. Let's jump to this last sentence here. Connerly is athletic with a ton of upside and will give the Dolphins another dice roll for their tackle situation to go along with Patrick Paul. See, that's where I'm just not in on that, man. We spent a second round pick, run the gambit. He looked fairly solid when Armstead was hurt. You got Austin Jackson on the other side who you're paying, and he looked all right down the stretch. Started the year a bit rough, but he put it together. I look at left guard, and I'm not saying take left guard here. I'm saying just take something else with this pick. But, and I know that Nate Tice himself I think he's doing the odds is very high. No, but I think Nate Tice is actually doing the evens. Let's go back and take a look at this. I've already forgot. Okay, yeah, Nate Tice is taking the evens. So this is Charles McDonald. But I think, I assume at this point, McDonald and Tice are of liked minds when it comes to Connerly, that he should go higher, that they have him higher on their board as a tackle prospect. I know Nate's dad, Mike Tice, he loves Connerly as his like top tackle. So I get the value in that. I get it. Pick 14. Indianapolis Colts go with Will Johnson, corner out of Michigan. So Tyler Warren still on the board. That's interesting. Colts fans are going to riot. So you get to pair Charvarius Ward with Will Johnson. You do have Juju Brents there. I think we've seen good things from Jalen Jones and Samuel Womack. I think Womack's back with the squad. So to me, I'm like, yo. That's a hell of a quarterback room. You look at your quarterbacks and you're like, yeah, no, I think we're deep. I think we're good at this position. Now we could go and address elsewhere. That would kind of be my idea. That would be my framework. I guess we'll see. Does that pan out in the draft? Who knows? But yeah, it's an all right pick if you're not going to go tight end, I suppose. And I don't even love tight end as a pick there. Atlanta Falcons go with Jalen Walker, linebacker slash edge, but he's an edge. Out of Georgia. Falcons need pass rush in like the worst way. This was always the pick. An edge. I don't care what their name is. Go out and get that dude. Pick 16. Arizona Cardinals could be a fascinating one. They go Derek Harmon, defensive tackle out of Oregon. I don't mind that. I think the Cardinals, ideally, you want to go with the front seven, whether that's edge, linebacker, and you can make a case for defensive interior. Derek Harmon is the top player on your board among those three options. I think you could send it. That's not to say there's not an outside chance that this could be a wide receiver. This could be a offensive lineman, maybe a right tackle, left guard. But I like the idea of going with the front seven. Cincinnati Bengals go with Mike Green, edge out of Marshall. Like this one a ton if he falls here. I think edge is the position they're going to go. I think they're okay. At least they've set themselves up in a place where it's like, yeah, we got enough talent on the defensive interior. Does that talent work? We'll see, but we've done our work there. Bringing back BJ Hill, bringing in TJ Slaton. They drafted Chris Jenkins. They also have McKinley Jackson there too. So they've certainly addressed the position. And you look to the edge, and it's like, well, Trey Hendrickson, he needs a running mate. He currently doesn't have that guy. We can't trust Osai. We can't trust Murphy. Mike Green, he can help bring that pass rush. I'm a big fan. He's going to be in my top 10 when it's all said and done. Like my top 10 big board when it's all said and done. So I like the pick. Let's see pick 18. Seattle Seahawks go with Gray Zabel. This is like my favorite pick to make for the Seahawks. He is a complete fit for Clint Kubiak's blocking scheme. I don't care if he's a center. I don't care if he's a guard. If you're the Seahawks, you're like, yeah, we need all of that because our offensive interior is a PP, a poo-poo. I love the fit. I just love it. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're going to get Jahad Campbell. So, okay, we're seeing some of the more popular picks now come off the board for teams. Campbell, he has a chance they can recapture what they had in Devin White, but hopefully better, getting that player next to Levante David that can blitz, but also play well in coverage. Good linebacker. Jahad, good linebacker, I hear is what they call him. Denver Broncos. I forgot Tyler Warner was still on the board. There he goes. Here at pick 20. To the Denver Broncos. They got Evan Ingram. If they want to play 2 tight end sets, they certainly can. It's Sean Payton. He can make it work. If Warren's the top guy on the board, then go ahead, send it, take it, do it. Pittsburgh Steelers. They go with Shedeur Sanders, quarterback out of Colorado. Listen, Aaron Rodgers probably is the quarterback for the squad. If he doesn't sign by then, if you're the Steelers, you're probably going to be open-minded to taking a quarterback at 21. Even if he does sign, if Shedeur falls at 21, you're going to be pretty open-minded to taking him and having some sort of plan for the future. I think Shedeur probably goes earlier than this. I think a team maybe trades up, whether that be a Giants, a Browns. I think the Browns, you're more inclined to do that because you don't have a good answer or even a good starter at quarterback headed into the season. You don't have a future plan there. You already drafted Travis Hunter. Just go ahead and become the Cleveland Buffaloes at this point. Why not? Pick 22. We do have trades in this. Los Angeles Rams move up and get Kelvin Banks, offensive tackle / guard out of Texas. So I'm going to read part of this. I've kind of skimmed it, but Banks played left tackle at Texas and has a pathway to stay out there at the next level because he is light on his feet and has decent length. But I would have him start at guard before potentially sliding outside in a post-Rob Havenstein world in Los Angeles. So a bit of a look to the future pick, but also at the same time can maybe compete at that guard spot. But you have Dotson, you have Vila. You're probably content with those guys. They're going to go with Bo. They're going to go with some sort of combination of Bo Limmer and Coleman Shelton. They're at center. I'm sure there's going to be a competition there. So Banks, it feels like Banks would be sitting and development. Green Bay Packers, they go with Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle out of Michigan. So they lost TJ Slaton. Slaton played a very significant role. He played over 500 snaps, a lot of them coming in at nose tackle. He was that big-bodied space eater. I would argue that there is a spot now open for that type of role because I don't see a guy that's really filling that need on the roster currently, or at least not well. Kenneth Grant, good value. Send the pick in. I like it. Minnesota Vikings go with Savon Revel, corner at a ECU. Oh, man, you get to keep him in the yellow and purple. You got to love it. You got to love it. Vikings, they should be probably open-minded to a trade down and acquire more picks. But if they like Revel, it's gonna be very fascinating to see where the corner run starts. For me, Jahdae Barron's still on the board. I assume Barron's gone by this pick, but for me, I could see the run starting with teams like the Lions or the Bills. I know I bring up the Lions, but hey, they can look at their corner position if Barron's there. And it's like, well, we could just play this dude in the slot, have Meek Robertson kind of function as that wide or that cornerback 4 for us. And this allows you to develop Rakestraw and not force him onto the field. So I'm talking more about the Lions pick here with the Vikings, and the Lions haven't even picked yet. I'm talking about a possible selection. I like Revel, man. He's got tools. He's got length. He was up to 202 at his pro day. We know he's a phenomenal athlete. Might need a little bit of development, but he's a fire competitor. He's demonstrated some ball skills before he got hurt. He had the pick 6 against Appalachian State this year. I don't mind it for the Vikings. Pick 25, Houston Texans go with Josh Simmons, offensive tackle out of Ohio State. So I think it was actually Nate Tice himself brought up the idea of teams have some character woes or concerns with Josh Simmons. I don't know too much about that. Didn't hear it until Nate Tice said it. Dane Brugler, who does very, very deep work when it comes to some of the character stuff, did bring it up to me. We're in smoke and mirror season. I'm not going to really buy it. But to be fair, I would be more concerned with the patellar tendon injury. That I can see pushing him down the board. If you're the Texans, I think I'd be okay with Tyler Booker here. I'd be okay with Emeka Ibuka here. There's some other options. Simmons, though, probably has the better upside. But again, the injury concern is kind of a bigger concern for me. Oh, whoa. Los Angeles Chargers take Mason Taylor, tight end out of LSU. Okay. What? That's interesting. I mean, they brought in Tyler Conklin. He's more of a big slot, right? Will Disley's still there. And I'm not saying Disley stops you from drafting a tight end, but I think bringing in Tyler Conklin stops me from not drafting a tight end outside of like Loveland and Warren. Oh man, I haven't seen Mason Smith in a first round mock. I'm flabbergasted. At least you traded back, I suppose. Baltimore Ravens, they go with Tyler Booker. We haven't seen one of the safeties go off the board either, by the way. Yeah, I mean, it's a fine pick. Look at left guard. They brought back Ben Cleveland, but it looks like he's more depth. You lost Patrick McCarry. Booker's kind of plug and play. Detroit Lions, they go with Donovan Smith. Or, excuse me, Donovan Smith. Donovan Jackson at Ohio State. Donovan Smith, does he even play ball anymore? I think there's a world where Jackson could be the future left tackle from when Taylor Decker calls it quits. But that's down the line. At the very least, Jackson starts immediately at left guard. You have Mahogany at right guard. So I like it. I don't mind it. I don't really consider guard too much for the Lions in the first round. And to be fair, I think that I should. Washington Commanders go with Marion Hampton, running back out of UNC. I have been seeing running back get mocked to the Commanders in the first round a little bit more frequently. Brian Robinson is a free agent after this season. I think Austin Eckler is a free agent after the season, but Robinson's been banged up. Eckler has had some injury issues the last couple of years. Sounds like some teams might have Hampton as a top 20 pick. So the value is there. I see it. Buffalo Bills. This has to be a corner, right? Oh, okay. You know what? This one's fair. Talik Williams at Ohio State. No Walter Nolan, by the way. Very fascinating. I think I would consider Starks here. Because I look at that safety group and I'm like, you know what? I still think Starks ends up being the better player if you add him to your room. But you get a big body defensive interior player that can play next to Ed Oliver. You got Daquan Jones is up there in dog years. Did they acquire an interior? Can't remember. I can't remember who. I know he's suspended. I don't know why that name is escaping me right now. Him and Michael Hoyt are suspended. So let's take a quick gander at the Bills roster. I'm going to see the name and it's going to be like, oh yeah, duh. Larry Ogunjobi. Okay. I couldn't get Andrew Billings out of my freaking head. I don't know why. But Ogunjobi, he's there. He'll miss the first 6 games. But Williams, he could be a starter right out the gates and then be a part of that rotation when Ogunjobi returns. Kansas City Chiefs take Malachi Starks. I don't hate it. Chiefs fans, they didn't love how Brian Cook played last season. To be fair, he was coming off foot injury. Maybe didn't quite look the same. He will be someone that's due for a contract, I think, after this year. 22, 23, 24. Yeah, I think he'll be due for a contract after this season. So you could be looking ahead, but Malachi Starks is a versatile safety. If you want to go with 3 safety sets, you certainly can do that. And then last but not least, the Philadelphia Eagles go with Walter Nolan. Thank goodness. Do not kick my boy Walter Nolan out of the first round. Okay, let's talk real quick about some of the players that did slip. As we didn't see Donovan Ezaraku or James Pierce. We didn't see Mecca Ibuka or Luther Burden. When it comes to the offensive line, they fitted those guys in there. Corner Nojade Barron, kind of wild to me. Kind of wild. I think he's a first round talent. And then obviously Nick Emanuwari. Emanwari. Apparently I've been saying that incorrectly, or I've been adding an extra syllable somewhere. I don't know. But Walter Nolan, he's a really good fit. You just lost Milton Williams. Go ahead, get a very, very good athlete whose best football is in front of him. Former 5-star. Finally, this past season, the production finally caught up to that potential. Kind of a steal. Kind of a steal. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. I will be releasing the rest of my rankings this week, along with our division by division 7-round NFL mock drafts. So be on the look for those. I just got to do all the Photoshop for that and then record it. So it is a lot of work. So thought I'd do a mock to mock today. So it gives me time just to work on those for the remainder of the day. We will be live for the draft. I feel like I should start saying that. I'll be live all 3 days for the draft. You will get a lot of content like immediately after day 1, day 2, and day 3. You will get my draft grades. You will get day 2 best available players. Then day 3 best available players. Best available UDFAs. I might even do a day 2 mock after the first round. Golly, but it's gonna be a ton of fun, a ton of content. It is the New Year's, the Christmas here on the channel. How we send the channel off into the summer, and then I see y'all back in late August, early September. But as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later, and of course, a special thanks to our friends over at Exter.